Good morning, bookers. It's me again, Nigel from Excellent Books. Bob's out, so we've come out to the library for my February reading wrap-up and new acquisitions. We're out in Derbyshire again, in the library. We're walking up on the moors. When we get where we're going, we'll have a stop. I'll get my flask out and we'll talk books. This was quite I know it don't look it, but there was a mill just down the bottom there, and the infamous Cutthroat Bridge when it was a packhorse trail. It's just down there, and we'll end up all over the place. We'll end up walking up to Derwent Edge, where there's a nice library seat and a little cave in case it gets a bit squirrely with the weather, which it's tipped to. At the start of this March, it's Sunday, so my old man used to watch my videos. Well, watched all of them really, me camping ones and these book ones, and he loved watching these where I'd take you all out in the library. He particularly liked Titty Woods, because there's a lot of great tits in there and you don't get them in the steel town of Scunthorpe. A week ago today, he died. He's been ill for a long time. And this is really the first time this week that the weather's been nice enough for me to get out and do the kind of videos that he used to like watching. On Friday I will go wild camping into his favourite spot, Mouse Copse. That'll be up on my other YouTube channel, Nigel P66, because he thought it was an hilarious treat for a little mouse who lives in the wall to eat my food. And he used to like the birds and little animals. So we're going to be in the heading up this path here and around. He really got me into camping and wildlife. That's why I love the woods so much. He taught me how to map read, That's why I love maps. And you're never lost, are you? You're just misplaced, is what he used to say. And that is something that stuck with me. Windmill in the background there, in the distance. Anyway, bookers. I will take you out at key points in the library, and then we will sit down and do a February reading wrap up and my 2 new books. See you soon. Well, folks, we've come to, where are we? The back door. Derwent Edge was really windy, so we carried on along library through loads of different departments, and we're at Backtor now. Sheffield's down there. Sheffield, Barnsley, Manchester's right over that way. And we're on the upland moors, if you want to call them that. Grab yourself a brew, because I'm going to start waffling. Just there. Let me position you, because I forgot my tripod, haven't I? Cheers. It's not too windy here, we're in the lee of the wind. So, start of the month, I read, and I've done a shit review of it already, Three Musketeers. The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas. What a fantastic book. Was wrote for the papers back in the day. So quite a few of the chapters leave you on a cliffhanger. So although it is a 700-page book, it reads much faster. Very, very enjoyable read. And I think there's a read along in April. And I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. I wouldn't bother with the introduction. There's very few of the notes that you need. But a fabulous book. Passed really quick. Second book I read. This got recommended to me, and I'd seen it before on all these bigger YouTube channels that are reading the up-to-date books. And the girl that I work with read it and she loved it. And she says, I think it'll be up your alley. So I read Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Bazterrica, translated by Sarah Moses. Anyway, quite a controversial book. Humanity has found that all the animals carry a virus. If you're scratched or you eat them, you die. So you can't eat meat anymore. This is set in South America. I pictured it somewhere in like Argentina. And it's primarily about a bloke he comes across in his late 30s, early 40s, who owns a abattoir, and they have started breeding humans, farming humans for meat. And he owns an abattoir where they're not called humans or people, they're called products, I think it is. They're brought to the abattoir, killed, skinned and processed. And it's how this fella is dealing with that. On a side story, his wife has left him because their child died when it was a couple of weeks old, months old. And they tried to get to have kids. They couldn't. They ended up getting a kid and it died. She couldn't cope with life, so she moved to her mother's. So he's running the meat processing plant on his own. This is going to be all spoilers, because you'll either know about this book and read it, or you'll not be bothered about it. You'll find it abhorrent that people can eat other humans. It's quite a grisly book, if you like. But anyway, it gets given by the farmer a young lady, and she's putting it, he don't want out to do with her, and she's put in the barn and he looks after her. Meanwhile, his dad's in a nursing home, he dies, so he's got all that to sort out with his delinquent sister. And he finally makes a connection with this young lady that is given to him for food. And lo and behold, because he's on his own, he cleans her up, has her as a partner. They end up having sex. She gets pregnant. And at this point, you realise that if he's found out that he's had sex with one of the farm animals, he will be put for slaughter himself. It's a big no-no. You don't. It's like you wouldn't breed with a pig, would you, or a cow? And that's how they see. They're just meat products, these farmed humans. And she gets pregnant. He comes home and she's in labour. And he doesn't know what to do. He's read all the books on giving childbirth and all like that, but he's got no idea. So he phones his wife up on the pretense, just come over. She comes over. He takes her upstairs. She's an ex-nurse. Sees this woman. She's like a midwife type woman. They give birth. The kid's in her arms. And she's finally got what she wants, another child. But it's half his, half this farmed woman. So, very controversial kid. And as she's cradling it, he says, I'll take the woman out. He's given her a name. He'll take her out to the barn, clean her up. Literally, the last few pages, massive spoiler that I did not see coming. I was on the same lines as the wife. He does it really quick, picks up club, bosh, kills her. That's the end of it. So tender is the flesh, really grisly. About cannibalism becoming normal. The meat processing of humans is described. The butchering of humans is described. And it's how this young family cope, basically. Really good book, but very, very dark. So them two books took me early half of February. So I thought, I'll not mess about. Big drip there, nearly got you. I'll not mess about, I'll get straight onto me 10 gothic horrors. So I'm on number 3, The Monk by Matthew Lewis. There's a professor in Sheffield University that I know in a very loose fashion. And I said, give me 10 books. Horror. First one, Otranto, Castle of Otranto, brilliant. Second one, a romance, dire. All my hair's fallen off, look. And on the first page of The Monk, it says, The Monk, a gothic romance. So what this clown's given me, I don't know. But I'm about 3/4 the way through it. And I'm enjoying it, actually. I will give you a full description in March. Well, we're already in March, aren't we? What's happening there? So, I have got one book that was my wife bought me, a bit on Beowulf, showed you in the library tour of my poetry selection. She got me it on Tuesday. It's an academic book on Beowulf the poem. I haven't brought that with me, but you've seen the cover. Now, because I'm a collector, because I'm building my own library, I've been on the internet, and there's a book company in south of England, a bookshop, And he has got a huge selection of this author. We already know who he is, don't we? Come on. So I've got two. First one. Edgar Rice Burroughs, The Outlaw of Torn. It's an ace paperback. I do like these. It's got The Book Boutique, 173 IBN, Griville Street, at TA. I've got no where that is. Givrol, Gvirol, TA. I don't know where that is. I'm assuming it's America. Someone signed it. I don't mind too much of this in a book because it's, you know, gives it more history. (1914) it was published first, it says here. First ace printing 1968. This was January 73. The most feared warrior in England. At 17, the greatest swordsman of England. At 18, a price on his head. At 19, leader of a band of thousands. Who was this Norman of Torn? Where did he come from? All that anyone knew was that his blade was sharp, his arm was strong. Then, as he was about to uncover the secrets of his birth, he found himself in the greatest peril he'd ever known. Dun, dun, dun. Brilliant cover picture. A knight on a black horse wearing lycra red leggings. This is the copy I wanted, so I can't wait to get into that. And it was only like a £5. We're all collectors, aren't we? We're all readers and collectors. So, second book, Edgar Rice Burroughs. There's a podcast I listen to, and on that podcast, they are reading they're going to be talking, about the bandits of Hell's Bend. Look at that for a picture. Another ace paperback. And this has got, it's like it's never been read. Spine's not broken. The cover is absolutely perfect. From four sides, the Indians were racing towards them, their savage cries breaking hideously the silence of the sun-parched valley. The three whites crouched, waiting. When the Redskins were no more than 25 yards away, they jumped to their feet, firing as they rose. The renegades were close now, and presented splendid targets for the three. At every report of their weapons, a hit was scored. There were too many of them to handle, however, and the remaining warriors sprang into close quarters, clubbing their empty rifles. So this podcast, 1952, is going to be talking about the bandits of Hell's Bend. So I had to get it. And after I've read The Monk, I'm reading The Bandits of Hell's Bend. I can't wait. I cannot wait. It was only like a £5. Brilliant cover art. The people on the internet can tell you all these Boris cover painters are. I just love the books. Well, that's been me. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to get a sandwich out. Finish my brew. I'm going to have a walk along the moors a bit further, because in that next valley I have in the past seen mountain hares. So I've brought me binoculars. I'm going to go just over the ridge lip and see if I can spot any down in the next valley, because it turns to a bit more grassy than heathery. So, this is me. End of February's been shit, but life goes on. Keep reading, keep gorgeous, like, subscribe, share. Thank you for commenting, everybody, and subscribing. And I will see you. If I don't see you in week, I'll see you through window.